time as well. And she's been buzzy and buzzed up. And of course in America they have outriders, they have their pony to the start. He's off now, Olivia. That's a horrible incident. It looked like a soft fall, let's hope it was, but the filly's loose, and that is the last thing anybody wanted.
Oh, it would be such a great shame, having come all this way, if her Oaks story ended before it began.
Yeah, it would. Hopefully she's okay and Olivia Pellier's okay and they can be reunited. He looks okay, she looks okay, but she'd taken off with him, hadn't she? And it's obviously a concern if anyone has backed her, and for her connections having come all of this way, they wouldn't have wanted that on her way down to the start for sure.
Olivier Pellier is on his feet.
In a normal circumstance, you'd say she mustn't run. The filly must be taken out. But she's come halfway across the world. It's one of the biggest races for fillies in this country. She didn't go very far when she bolted. She was caught very quickly. Olivier looked as though he's just winded. She'll probably take a chance.
If, of course, the jockey wants to get back on.
Yes, he's having another time out. The filly will be checked over by the vet as well.
He's smiling. The filly's okay. Those are the two most important things. We await news as to her participation here, though the stall numbers are being rearranged.
No, but they're moving everything out one. We'll wait and see, but it just looks as though everything was going out one.
Okay, horses now ambling down to post, those that are a little more tractable, which gives us the chance to talk about the key dangers to rhododendron. Let's start with Enable, because she was impressive in the Cheshire Oaks. She'd finished third behind her stable companion Shutter Speed in the fillies trial race at Newbury, the race which Lightshift won en route to Cheshire Oaks and victory here 10 years or so ago. How strong do you think that Cheshire Oaks form is, Eddie?
She dominated the race. I don't think the form is anything stronger than she beat Alluringly. We're just hearing Daddy's Little Darling has been withdrawn. It's a terribly sad day for the connections of her, because they've had a real go to come across and run here, and they've not been rewarded with anything. Let's hope she can stay here and find something to run in while she's over here.
Fingers crossed. And Kenny McPeak, swashbuckling, enterprising guy that he is, talked to us extensively at the beginning of the programme and said he had a number of horses that he had booked for other races in Britain during the course of the season. So let's hope we see more of him. And the good news is Olivier Pellier and the fillies seem, relatively speaking, okay. So we were talking about the Cheshire Oaks form.
Yes, she's been Alluringly, who's got solid form of her own. She was a very easy winner of a Tipperary maiden on soft ground, I believe. And Enable herself's earlier run against her stablemate Shutter Speed was probably, she was just done for speed that day. Shutter Speed, a faster filly, has since gone on to win the Musadora. So that's solid form, even if the runner-up slightly let the form down in his subsequent outing. So Enable's a filly, I think she's got a lot more to offer. Physically she looks terrific. She's very well put together. And I don't think she'd be running in this sort of race with John Gosden's very good spring he had if he didn't think she had a terrific chance.
Gosden strong-handed. He has Coronet as well, who finished third in the Santallery behind Sebetsu. Let's talk about Alluringly a little more, because Aidan O'Brien has won this with second strings in the past. He won it with Qualify, who was about a ninth string when she won 2 years ago. He won it with Was, who was a third or fourth string back in 2012.
Yeah, and Alluringly obviously has to reverse the form with Enable from the Cheshire Oaks. Now, she's only 4 runs into her life and she might take another jump forward, but watching that back, I didn't see any obvious reason as to why she necessarily would reverse the placings. Enable, just going back to her a second, I think she really improved for the step up in trip. There is stamina down both sides of her pedigree really, and she was an improver for the distance last time. This is a little bit further again, and that will probably help her.
Green cap of coloured Abdullah is Roger Charlton's Natavia, who was, I suppose, the most recent arrival to the Oaks picture.
Yes, when winning easily at Newbury and impressively. That was on soft ground, and Flood Warning was a horse she bumped into early, and that form has been upheld there. I think she's a filly who could need a bit more time than this. This just might come a bit too soon in her career. Just the 2 runs, and maybe rather been thrown into the deep end.
A final thought then, Chris, as the runners head behind for the 2017 running of the Investec Oaks.
Well, Rhododendron is a worthy favourite. I think she's got the best form in the book, and she would have given Winter an impressive winner since a real race in the Guineas over a trip that I think was short of her best, and I think she is sure to improve for the step up in distance this afternoon. So she is a worthy favourite and the one to beat, but I think that Coronet and Sabetsu, who were first and third in the Allery over in France last time out, are feasible enough dangers.
As you can probably hear from the whoops of the crowd and the cracks of thunder, this year's Oaks is going to be run in a fairly significant electrical storm. It's going to be a challenge. These races are supposed to be a challenge, but the elements are throwing an added dimension at us.
Have you ever really been in a significant electrical storm? Because this isn't one, this is tame stuff.
So,
enough for me to want to go inside.
Exactly. Eddie clearly has a career as a storm chaser ahead of him, one of those lunatics that drives into tornadoes in America.
I landed in Hong Kong in the old airport in the middle of the city in something where I've never been as terrified as I was that night. I don't think I'll ever be as terrified again. This is nothing, mate.
My worry is that I'm standing next to the tallest man on the racecourse and the most obvious lightning conductor anywhere. Back to business then. Back to this. Tasks ahead for these riders. Task ahead for Ryan Moore in his bid to give Aidan O'Brien a 7th Oaks on Rhododendron.
Yeah, just in terms of betting on the race, plenty of people looking to do that probably have already got their wagers on, but the obvious each-way horses to me are Coronet and Sabetsu, because I think they are bringing strong form into the race. Just on Coronet, I liked that form last year when she obviously beat Kunko and the Dante winner Permian, who's obviously improved a lot since, but I like the way that she shaped in France behind Sabetsu as well at Deauville. She perhaps wasn't best positioned, and Atzerny should get her into a nice spot from stall 6 today. The other thing about this race is it will be interesting tactically, because on the evidence that we've got of them so far, where are the real front-running types? Something will emerge to go on and make it, but it is a race that could get messy.
I've got a sort of feeling, don't know where it comes from, that Pocket Full of Dreams drawn next to the rail may just supply the pace, and in which case Ryan Moore will be quite quick to slot in, I think, from stall 5 on the favourite Rhododendron.
Donica O'Brien, trainer's son, takes the ride on Pocket Full of Dreams. He will be aboard Venice Beach. Big ride for him in tomorrow's derby, and sister Anna will be riding the Anvil. Family affair for the O'Briens tomorrow, as it is here, as the master of Ballydoyle seeks his 7th victory in the Oaks. Rafe Beckett, represented here by Isabel de Urbina, looks for a 3rd, and Andrew Balding, who won this with Casual Look, for a 2nd. Sabetsu will be one of the last forward. For the Fillies Classic, the Investec Oaks, Simon Holt to call him.
Sabetsu going to make up the line for the 2017 Investec Oaks. With thunder and lightning surrounding Epsom, they jump away from the stalls, uphill for the first 5 furlongs here, and Pocket Full of Dreams on the inside of Enable and Sabetsu, followed in 4th place by Alluringly. Rhododendron in the dark blue jacket, seconding in 5th place early on, followed further back by Natavia, and then Horseplay, the back marker Coronet at this early stage as they climb uphill. Isabel de Urbina towards the outside as they run through the rain, and Pocket Full of Dreams is out in front, and it looks a brisk pace as they continue on this steep incline. 2 lengths, 3 lengths to Sabetsu in 2nd. Then in 3rd is Enable, followed by Rhododendron. Nadavia is on the inside, then of Alluringly. Horseplay is further back from Isabel de Urbina, and Coronet is still just about last. On their way now towards the final mile, and Pocket Full of Dreams out in front under Donica O'Brien, tracked by Sabetsu and William Buick in the all-blue jacket. Frankie has Enable in 3rd. Then Rhododendron, the hot favourite. Ryan Moore in the dark blue jacket in 4th place, just towards the outside of Frankie Dettori. Then on the inside is Natavia, followed by Alluringly in the bright yellow and black spotted jacket. Horseplay is behind these as the leader continues to press on inside the 7 furlong marker. Isabel de Urbina and Coronet still at the tail of the field. The track flattening out. They're about to run downhill towards Tattenham Corner, and Pocket Full of Dreams is going to make this a serious test. 4 lengths clear of Sebetsu in second place, then Enable in third, Rhododendron with a clear run towards the outside of these, followed by Natavia. They're followed by Alluringly and Horseplay, Isabel de Urbina and Coronet, and he's still kicking on the leader, Pocket Full of Dreams, who's kicked away from Sebetsu as they now round Tattenham Corner, and it's Pocket Full of Dreams by 5 lengths. 2 in second, Sebetsu, then Enable in the pink cap, Rhododendron going well towards the outside, the leader folding up and coming back to them now, about to be swallowed down by Sebetsu, by Enable and Rhododendron, and it's Enable and Rhododendron battling on here. Enable and Frankie Dettori in the pink cap, Rhododendron and Ryan Moore in the dark blue jacket, chased by Alluringly back in third. Both riders going for everything, and Enable is just getting on top from Rhododendron inside the final furlong. Enable kicks 2 lengths clear of the favourite and racing up towards the line. Enable for a 4th Oaks win for Frankie Dettori in the colours of Khalid Abdullah, and Enable wins the Oaks, pulling well clear in the end from Rhododendron, Alluringly third, and Horseplay staying on in 4th.
A gruelling Oaks run under a dramatic Epsom skyline has gone the way of Frankie Dettori. His first win in this classic since taking it aboard Godolphin's Katzia in 2002. 15 years on, he wins the Oaks for his old ally John Gosden. 3 years after Gosden saddled to Gruder to win this race. It was a pulsating battle between Enable and the market leader Rhododendron through the final couple of furlongs in a race that had been blown apart by the strong, brisk pace set by Pocket Full of Dreams. And it was that filly stable companion that had to settle for second behind an ultra tough stayer in Enable. 2 seconds in classics for Rhododendron, but she's gone down fighting. Alluringly, her stable companion, a long way back in third. But the race was burst open a long way out. That delivered us an emphatic winner. That winner's name, Enable. She was well able to win the Oaks. High class filly, Eddie.
Very high class filly. She's outstayed Rhododendron, but in a classy way as well. She's won by 5 lengths and 6 lengths in the end. The rain beginning to get into the ground, I feel, over the far side of the course.
6-1 Enable has returned, which was not too much shorter a price than the prices on offer on the evening she won the Cheshire Oaks. The biggest price then was 10. It was nibbled into 7 by the evening. She went off 6-1 today because of huge money for a Rhododendron, alluringly confirming that Cheshire Oaks form strength by finishing third. But this was the key point where Donica O'Brien aboard the third string for Ballydoyle, the maiden Pocket Full of Dreams, really set out to exploit any weaknesses, any chinks in the armour of any of these fillies in behind.
And it turned the race into a proper test of stamina, and Enable has relished that. There's stamina down both sides of that pedigree, and the step up in trip had improved the last time out a little bit further, and a greater test of stamina today has improved her again, and she's a really fast, progressive and high class filly. That was a really taking performance. I think she's done Rhododendron for stamina, but she's not short on any amount of class as well. And it's what a classic should be, a test of quality, of pace and of stamina. The worry was it might be a messy race. I could see the leader being the leader, but not necessarily at that kind of gallop. And in the end, it has probably suited Enable.
And Ryan Moore and Frankie Dettori, who rode the runner-up and winner respectively, were quite content to watch William Buick be the first man to play his card meaningfully. Now, just look for an incident after they've come round at Tattenham Corner. Just look to an incident involving the eventual winner Enable as Frankie tries to get out from underneath Rhododendron. Yes,
because Sebetsu is possibly going to come back to them, and Dettori doesn't want to be trapped on the inside with the front runner of Pocket Full of Dreams also coming back. Ryan Moore equally wants to hold Enable in if he possibly can, and he just holds his position. Dettori the first to come to put his filly under serious pressure, and presumably Ryan thought there was a lot more in the tank than there turned out to be. And Enable it was who really battled back grittily, wrested the lead and stormed away inside the final furlong, taking 5 lengths